Hey guys, welcome to our Premium Nails YouTube channel. Today we're going to be working on a 3D flower, but I'm going to add some color to this flower. I'm using neon green and neon pink. And those two colors are from our EDS collection. I'm using chestnut as my base, and that's 222. I'm going to go in there with my No MMA Revolution monomer. We also have the SPF blue, but for this look, I'm going to do the Revolution monomer. So I'm going to do a thin coat of chestnut. So I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. And I'm going to do a second coat of chestnut. I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. And make sure you're curing your gel polish according to your light. Every machine is different. I'm using my 3-in-1 top coat. And I cure this for 60 seconds on my LED. So I'm taking my Extreme French White and my 3D brush. I'm using the neon pink and the neon green. I don't know what is going on outside. Somebody's honking. I know it's not for me, so I'm not going to go out there, but I do apologize for that. So I'm going to take a bead of white. I like to work with a drier bead versus a wet bead. If you have too much liquid on your brush when you're doing the 3D flower, you're going to have a very runny bead, making it very hard to work with. So I like to give the acrylic a few seconds to set. So I'm going to grab a bead of white and I'm going to dip it into the pink. So here you're going to see me give that acrylic a few seconds to set. So you want to make sure this bead turns matte. Once you see it turn matte, that means you're ready to start working with the bead. So I'm going to take the tip of my brush and I'm going to curve this petal. And I like to take the side of my brush and flatten out the bead. So using the side of my brush gives the petal some texture, some indentations. Now you don't have to do that. That's just the way I like to do my petal. I'm taking a second bead, dipping it into my white, then to the pink. So I'm going to lay that bead right next to that other petal. And again, I'm just waiting for it to turn matte. You're going to shape this petal, so just curve it. And I'm taking the side of my brush and flattening out that bead. So I'm taking my third petal. So this petal, I add too much liquid to my brush, but I'm going to fix that. So because it's still wet, you can still push it into place. So I'm going to just push it back into place with the tip of my brush. Now I'm going to wait for it to turn matte. See how wet that is? So don't worry, just wait for it to turn matte and then start working with it. So now I'm pushing that acrylic in and taking the side of my brush and creating those grooves into my petal. Now I'm going to take another bead and I'm going to go inside. So this one, the petal was too big. I'm sorry, my bead was too big. So I want to add smaller petals to the flower. So I want to go a little bit smaller this time. And I'm going to place that bead right in between those petals. So again, I'm just curving that bead. And when I flatten out this bead, I use the very tip of my brush and I do apply pressure. I'm taking another bead. So we're just waiting for this acrylic to set a little bit. So again, just curve this petal and use the side of your brush to flatten out this bead. Now I'm going to take a smaller bead of white and I'm going to place it right in the middle of the petals, or the flower, I'm sorry. And you want that bead to be dried. So what I did is I drained out the liquid of the brush. So I'm waiting for this to turn matte. And I'm going to take a dotting tool and I'm going to go right in the middle. And I'm going to use circular motions. So I'm just making a little circle. Now I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to break that into half. So just not really break it in half, but you want to split this acrylic. Now I'm taking my brush and I am just shaping it to create the middle of the flower. So there's my flower. Now I'm going to work on a petal. I'm sorry, a leaf. So I'm going to take a bead of white and oh, real quick, I like to create veins into my leaf. So I take a little piece of cardboard or like a business card, and I like to create veins with the edge of it. Now you could use a nail, or you could use a sanitized tool. You can basically use anything to create these indentations. So I'm adding my bead. So I dip it into the white and then I dip it into the green. And I'm using my tip and I'm going side to side. And now I'm going to drag this bead down to create the leaf. So I'm using the side of my brush to shape this leaf. So again, I'm taking the tip of my brush and just moving it side to side and just shaping the leaf. Now I'm going to take my little tool here and add some veins to the leaf. And I messed it up there, but don't worry because it's still wet, so you can still fix it. So I dip my brush into the monomer and then just go back and fix the leaf. And I'm going to add a few rhinestones to this design, just to make it pop a little bit. And I am actually just taking my 3-in-1 top coat to place my rhinestones. And I'm gonna cure that for 60 seconds. And that's it. So I use Extreme French White, Neon Pink, Neon Green, and my Revolution monomer, and my 3-in-1 top coat. Thanks for watching, everyone.